Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cappies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me about the lovely Capricorn collective here in mid-February. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in mid-February. Still Aquarius season at the time of this filming, but let's see what the vibe is. What's happening? What is the energy swirling around, my good friends? Okay. Interesting the way this card really shows its face, because it's similar to the Devil card in the tarot deck itself. This is a very tempting card. This could also speak about the passions, and there's a certain temptation connected to it. I always say that with this first card, but I mean, there's a lot of layers to it, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I know the imagery could look a little funky there, but before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards then, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as I mentioned, it's like the Devil in the tarot deck, even though this is an oracle. And the Devil is one of your power cards, Capricorn. It has a different complexion whenever we do a Capricorn reading. And the reason you guys get the Devil is due to the goat symbolism. So, of course, when I see this type of card show up in a Cappy reading, sure, it could speak about your self-confidence, self-improvement, any journey where you're putting yourself first could be really, really good for you, especially right now. But aside from that, you see the other imagery here. We have like that devil figure in the back. We have the woman, we have the snake and the apple. It really invokes a Garden of Eden type of story. So watch out for temptation in this time. So whether it is pleasures of the flesh, addictions, behaviors, thought processes, even if there's certain things you've been trying to steer clear from or steer away from, you could be tempted when this card shows up, and it could even represent a person, but it could go for behaviors as well. But the big thing with this card is that although it's tempting, there's like a magnetic pull, there's an allure to it. So I can't wait to see what shows up within the reading. I'll just leave him over there. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading, it's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. Let's see what's happening in mid-February for my good friends. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Big Karmic Ending, and there were a lot of karmic archetypes, very powerful major arcana and cards were showing up throughout the whole reading. And it did speak about either a metamorphosis or some sort of cycle coming to a close, like cycles closing, cycles opening. So for a lot of Cappies, there could be certain things that you're moving away from or moving out of when that type of vibe starts to show up. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the Cappies. What is happening in mid-February for my good friends? Ooh, okay, thank you. Whoa. All right, really, really powerful energy here. And it might be a holdover from what we were seeing last week. 2 cards came out together. We have the Tower, which I'm sure if you know about tarot cards, that is very powerful, like shocking type of energy. And the Wheel of Fortune, a little bit of a different complexion, powerful in its own right. They're both extremely karmic energies. So yeah, we're definitely getting a little bit of a holdover of last week's vibe. Let's get one more out here, because the one thing I could say about both of those cards, they're very, very intense. Let's get one more. What do we have here for the Cappies? Okay. We have the 10 of Wands here on the back end. So yeah, we're going to have to talk about this. I feel like it is a bit of a mixed bag, the energy that we have showing up. But yeah, such is life, right? But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I know I was already commenting on it a little bit earlier. We have 2 of the most powerful major arcanas right here in the front with the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. They're both very similar in the fact that they're connected to the universal energy. They're connected to karma, karmic cycles, and they are very powerful, fast-moving types of energies. Different complexion, though, because this one is shocking and jarring and could be something rough. The Wheel of Fortune is luck being on your side. So whatever it is you may have been going through, whether it's minor or major, it's like, no, luck is on your side. I do like that. On the back end, we do have fire. So along with all this fast-moving energy with the Ten of Wands, we have this fire action. So it's like the energy swirling, and moving. I do see a good push towards the back end when it comes to the energy. So let's go through each one and build this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Tower. We're going to dive a little deeper on this card. Now, as you can see, the imagery is a little concerning, right? The tower, it's crashing down, the people are falling out of it. And of course, to put a blanket statement, like I already mentioned, this could represent shock, something that completely catches you off guard. It could be you hitting the reset button on something. Could be things ending, things closing out. There could be something, if it hasn't happened already, where it's like, should I just start fresh? Like, this is an energy in its positive sense that is starting fresh, but in the challenge, it's very unpredictable. It's very powerful. It's almost unstoppable when we see this type of energy. So we definitely want to see what it is, whether it's a situation, whether it's an action, whether it's someone's behaviors. The Tower is like, okay, it's super, super intense. And this could represent inner energy as well. So we think about libido and drive in various different ways. So we'll take a look at this. And I always say, not every tower is a bad tower. Yes, it's a shocking energy, but that doesn't have to paint it as a bad thing, especially when it's paired up with the card that we have coming up right next to it. So we're going to get that tucked in right by the amethyst. And moving to the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire tarot deck. Now, as far as zodiac signs go, the Tower, that connects to Scorpio energy. So if you're connected to the Scorpio, that could be them. I connect the wheel to Sagittarius. I know it could be multiple signs because of the symbolism, but this is Jupiter-like energy, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. And when I see this, again, good luck charm, four-leaf clover, something really going your way. So for a lot of you, like, yeah, maybe this was a good thing, even if it doesn't seem like it right now, or maybe that was a lucky break. It's like, yeah, this energy, it's volatile, it's fast moving, but it could swing in your way one way or another, which is definitely a silver lining when this card is here. The wheel, again, very expansive, very protective. So that makes me feel a lot better about this tower right here on the front end. But again, this is the wheel turning round and around, cycles. So whether it's cycles repeating or things that you still need to figure out with a cycle that you've just closed out, we want to look at this. Now, the big challenge with the wheel, I already mentioned it, it does have the similar complexions to the tower. This card moves very fast. It's not like the World card. The World card, it moves slow. There's like a certain process and pace. This wheel, it spins, boom, boom, quick, very sudden, very fast. So you see when we go from the tower to the wheel, it's like energy is just spinning and swinging all over the place. So we definitely want to see if we could rein it in. I feel like this could be a good thing, though. The one thing I will say about the wheel, a lot of you could be more willing to take risks in this time. Try your luck with things, and that could be good. Now, onto the back end, we have the Ten of Wands, and we see this individual, they're holding that big pile of sticks. Usually it's depicting someone walking up a hill while doing this. In the positive sense, this is a huge card of determination, no quit in this person. And listen, I know a ton of Capricorns in my personal life, Ten of Wands. Doesn't matter how hard things are, if you have your mind set on something, you complete it. Like, this is a card of continuing to push, so very determined and hardworking here. Now, it can be a challenge, right? This can represent problems and issues. This could represent something that feels heavy. So whether there's a situation that's weighing heavy on your mind, I always say it could be mental, emotional, or even physical burdens when this card is here. So watch your energy, make sure you're not overdoing it, that you pace yourself with things when the Ten of Wands is here. And specifically watch out for your physical health and vitality. I specifically say with this card, watch out for areas like the neck, back, and spine when this is here. All right, you might be holding some tension there. So I want to dive deeper on all the Cappy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Cappies. What is happening? Hopefully the energy starts to mellow out a little bit. But yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that tower. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, tower, not the wheel. We'll get to the wheel in a second. Why is the tower here, please? For my Cappies. What is happening? Thank you. Eight of Pentacles. All right, so especially for those of you with like career-based things, work-based things, watch out for like sudden shifts and changes when it comes to that. For some of you, this can absolutely be some sort of like breakthrough where it's like something's been building up for a long time, and then boom, the dam breaks. I don't know why I'm using that analogy, but that's how it feels to me. It's like pressure building, and then boom, it just like explosive breakthrough or shocking breakthrough. Remember, that's what the tower is to us. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is a card that I do link to work, career, earning money, business. So for a lot of you, there could be rapid changes in that area of life in this time. So that's something to watch out for, where it's like, oh, well, this has been building up for a long time. So watch out for any of the things I've discussed, especially relating to career. Because when we see the Eight of Pentacles, it's diligent, it's hardworking, it's somebody putting effort towards something. So I'm hoping that the energy stays positive and light, because we're going to move over to this wheel. That'll give us more of a complexion of this energy. But yeah, when I see this, it's an energy, it's very shocking, and it's something breaking through. Okay, and it's something, it was like a long time coming. Okay, so whether this is a work-related thing, like I mentioned, or even a personal relationship, it's like, all right, well, I mean, this has been building up for a long time. So for some of you, it could even just be a shocking situation where it took time to get to the point where it got. Okay, it's not like it's something where it's a complete and total shock, but it just, once it starts, it's like a domino effect. Let's keep moving. We're not going to linger there too long. So yeah, we'll circle back on it when we get to the recap part. So let's go in on the wheel. So shocking energy, breakthroughs. I mean, that could be good for a lot of you. I guess it depends on your personal situation, right? For some of you, this is awesome. For some of you, not so much. But let's go in on the wheel. Why is the wheel here for my Cappies, please? Thank you. All right. Oh, okay. That is a complete start-stop. Now, I've been seeing this for you for like spread out over weeks now, Capricorn. This is the energy that connects to the Cancer collective. So if you're connected to Cancer, the Chariot is them. But the Chariot in reverse is something stopping suddenly. So it's like just as fast as this happens, this stops just as quick. So it's like, boom, start, boom, stop. It's just like very jarring, if that makes sense. Now, the wheel, it could just be representing a very sudden change. So similar to this tower, there's a lot of energy that could be shifting, but it doesn't feel prolonged. So although there may be something that it took a while to build up to a certain point, like the fallout isn't going to be prolonged, and I think that's a good thing. Now, for a small portion of you, this can most definitely represent a return of some sort. Saw something similar with the Libra energy, because with the wheel, it cycles back around. Sometimes the Chariot in reverse is something cycling back around. So there could be various situations, people, individuals that return in this time. And it's kind of surprising or shocking, even if we want to use that terminology. But a big thing I'm picking up here, and it's been stretched out over weeks, is like the energy stops suddenly, it starts suddenly. The energy is just moving quickly. And from what I know about Capricorn energy generally, predictable is a good thing normally, or just knowing what direction you're going. When this energy is so volatile, it's like, what the heck is going on? It's like the energy breaks through, then it stops. It's like very choppy, if that makes sense. So again, watch out for either the returns or things stopping like hard, like slamming brakes. So it's interesting. It's like we're slamming our foot on the gas, we're slamming our foot on the brakes. Let's see what's up with the 10 wands. Okay, and then we will do a recap before we get into the shadow. So this does feel like it could be a mixed bag, but why is the 10 wands here for the Cappies? I would say the good thing is, if this is just a situation in general that took a long time to build up, the end result or the fallout from it isn't prolonged, and I think that's a good thing. Let's see what's up with the 10 wands. It's like, okay, that's over, or that's done with, or I experienced that. Let's see why the 10 wands is in the mix. Then we'll do our recap. Why is it here for the Cappies, please? Thank you. This is what I like, my friends. Beautiful. We have the Temperance card in the upright. More Sagittarius energy here for a good chunk of you. The Protector, the Archangel Michael. This is a very smooth, serene type of energy. Now, for some of you, I just feel like I need to give the advice to pace yourself with something. There could be something that really sparks a passion within you coming up in the very near future. So whether it is personal relationships, whether it's career or work, when I see the 10 of Wands with Temperance, it's like, just pace yourself. Don't do everything all at once. So I feel like that's very important. Temperance isn't always delays. This is the energy that somewhat starts to settle down because it's so volatile here in the front. It's like start, stop, start, stop. It's like going, it's stopping. Here on the back, although the 10 of Wands is here, the Temperance card is protective. It's relaxed. I feel there could be a good result you're moving towards, but to me, it feels like it's a journey. So either one, be patient with yourself, go through a process and don't rush it, or try not to do too much too soon, because this could most definitely be something that really sparks a passion within you. When I see the 10 of Wands and the Temperance card, this is also fire element. It's like, okay, all in good time, all in good time. This could also be extremely healing. So that tells me if you are going through certain situations or jarring types of energies, Spirit could be saying, you know what, you're going to be okay. Like, even if it's hard right now, even if it's something that is a little burdensome or weighing heavy on you, everything will be okay. So I feel like that's a good reassuring energy. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we started off with the Tower and the 8 of Pentacles. Very interesting how this energy plays. Like I said, to me, this felt like more of a breakthrough of some sort, where it's like something was building up for a long time. So whether it's a shocking situation or a breakthrough, hopefully this is something you've been moving towards or working towards, where it's like, all right, finally we're starting to see a result. But to me, it just felt like it was a long time coming. Moving to the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Chariot in reverse. 2 main messages I'm feeling here. It's total opposite of what we have here in the front. It's like a sudden stoppage of some kind. Either that or a situation coming back around or returning in like a surprising or shocking fashion where it's moving quick. On to the back end, we have the 10 of Wands with Temperance. Spirit wants you to pace yourself with something. Don't do too much too quick. And there could also be something that really lights a fire within you coming up in the near future. So keep that in mind. But I do see a good protective result where it's like, all right, this is temporary. This is temporary. Everything will be okay. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. That was definitely an intriguing spread of energy there for you. But yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. They could be good as well. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going here. What do we have in the shadows for the Cappies? Please, thank you. All right. Okay, 6 of Wands, good positive result in the end. So we do have more of this fire energy even showing up in the shadows. And I usually say this is a good card of gaining attention. So in this time, just know like you might be attracting a little more attention than you normally do. Either that or eyes might be on. Now, the great thing with the 6 of Wands, it's notoriety, it's victory, it's getting kudos for the good things that you've done and that you do. So this is really fantastic, especially if you're trying to put yourself under a spotlight of some kind. But at the same time, the shadow side of this card, it could either be someone that's a little too egotistical. I'm not saying it's you. You might have dealings with an egotistical person, gets a lot of attention. Or this could be Spirit saying like, hey, just know that there's going to be eyes watching you. There's going to be eyes on. So yeah, not a bad shadow card whatsoever. But yeah, Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.